These two rectangles are going to form the bow and the tie. I just sized it based off of Papa, so keep that in mind. The larger rectangle is going to be folded in half, and the smaller one is just going to be rolled over, so no sewing for that one. So for the bow part, I sewed around the edges and then turned it inside out and closed that last end. And so you couldn't see the seam. I did what's called a ladder stitch. So basically I tuck in those raw edges and then put little stitches in either side, and then when you pull it shut, it tightens up and it's like underneath the fold, so it's not as visible and it's a nicer finish, and I think Papa deserves that. Once all the edges are sewn together, it's time to fold it into a bow. So basically, just channel your inner JoJo Siwa and pinch it in the middle, and that's basically all you have to do. And then I just put a couple of stitches in through that. For the middle part, I just rolled around that smaller rectangle and wrapped it around that pinched part of the bow. And to secure it, I ran a couple of stitches along the back, and then I made sure that I got in through the middle part through that bow. Once the bow was secure, I just trimmed off that excess tail, and it was time for the collar. So if you can see what I'm doing, this is on the fold. There are 4 layers of this white fabric I want for the collar, and the bottom 2 edges are folded over. So I'm messing around with the bow, seeing what angle I want the collar to be, and once I decided what looked good, I then cut a little triangle out in the shape of the collar, which then unfolds because of the layers, and it becomes a parallelogram, which then I cut again into larger triangles. And then these triangles are going to be one side of the collar, like one triangle is a collar. And then I just folded it, and then I sewed it just like I did with a rectangle, so turning it inside out so it was nice and finished. And then you have all the pieces, and they just have to come together. Sewing the collar pieces to the bow was really easy. I just checked a couple of times to make sure I was oriented the way I wanted, so the little edges peek out just like a bow tie on the collar. And then after that, it was time for the elastic band to make it wearable. So I just took the elastic band and I sewed it around the edge of one little collar, and then when I was done on that side, I took the other end and went to the other collar. After the elastic was attached, I just trimmed off any loose threads, and now it is ready for action.